Hey guys, I'm here to bring you a review of Uncanny Avengers issue 3. Let's get in right into it. Alright, so this is Counter Evolutionary Part 3, and we begin with Vision. He's having a very existential internal monologue here, so let me read this to you. No logic can move me past it, no other purpose can exist beyond this euphoria. Two organisms intertwined and made wholly new. She is everything. Everything I am not, where I am broken, she is whole. Where I am weak, she is strong. The coupling, has she been waiting for me? Has the randomness of my travels been carefully calculated, anticipated? No. I push aside the fears I brought with me from Earth. This is the reason to live. Is it love? So, and they are interrupted. We see he's having a, what I would guess called robot Navi sex is essentially what's going on here. So yeah, it's like a green, naked, artificial woman. Her name is Eve. You see, the High Evolutionary kind of breaks him up, or interrupts him, really. The Vision kind of puts his cape back on, because that's the only clothes he has, and says, I had hoped to find my place in the universe. I did not think it to look here. Evolutionary, goes on to say, if you wish to take from this Eden, I would be most displeased, but if you hope to join Counter-Earth as a new element, then I welcome you. Says the Vision, he goes on to say, in truth I am lost, but Evolutionary is like, now perhaps found. You've been remarkably busy in such a short time. So then Eve speaks. She says, Father, please do not judge what you are observing. And they open the door to this other room where we see that the Vision and Eve have been getting busy. I mean, really busy. There's just this whole row of little test tube children that they have with little Vision Eve heads. And I don't know how well you can see that, but they're in those little pods. It reminds me a lot of the Matrix. Then somewhere on here, High Evolutionary is saying, I hope you will embrace the responsibility you have created here. It would be unfortunate if your attention was divided. Look upon this city, a blank canvas. It awaits my design. There's a place in it for your collaborations with Eve. And then I see a little vision of his children, a little grown up, playing around in the streets there. As he looks at it. And we see elsewhere, Master Scientist is running tests on Rogue, and he's going off on how he's keeping Rogue from the High Evolutionary because she is quite exceptional, and he wants to unlock her true potential. And Rogue is saying, to herself, this is why she doesn't work alone. Right about this time, Wolverine would come breaking in, with his claws, or Nightcrawler would, teleport her out of here, and we see towards the end of the panel, she sort of like her eyes kind of started to glow like pinkish purple, and she's like lifting up. She's in this like thing that's like testing her strength, and she gets a boost, I guess so. Then we go to the twins, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and the low evolutionary, and he is giving them a tour of the whole refugee camp and everything. Sort of like we see people, huddled over little tanks that are on fire, trying to stay warm. Pietro, is making comparisons to America, and Earth and all that. So, come across a wolf, like a dog man, who's like missing an ear and a hand. He's very gung ho, him and his two like gorilla and deer man. They're ready to take the fight to High Evolutionary, and we come across another character, a chimpanzee man, who informs the Low Evolutionary that High Evolutionary has found new ways of tracking, them from Calico. So they're coming to the refugee camp. They're on their way, and Low Evolutionary, says, everyone who can lift a weapon or run supplies report to me in an hour. And I guess the suggestion was made that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, kind of like scout ahead or whatever. And Low Evolutionary comments, a good idea, but I don't think you understand how fast High Evolutionary moves. To which there's a panel where Quicksilver, kind of smirks and says, "Really?" So they rush off into the forest or whatever. Scarlet Witch was kind of wanting to stay back, she says, but they're in the forest. Quicksilver, scouts ahead. He founds the city, and they continue on. And we see they find Sabretooth. He is the tracking system that they were talking about, and he's got two henchmen with him. He's kind of brainwashed. That's what he's brainwashed. He's not like really talking. He's making gnarly growling sounds, and he's got a leash on him, of course. Again, so Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, they take out the two henchmen. Scarlet, puts Sabretooth in stasis. He kind of jumps at her, lunges at her, and she kind of puts him in stasis. And then we see that there's another character, Luminous, from the last issue. At the end of the last issue, she comments, out of the blue there, you both are much older and grosser than I imagined. So they both don't understand, so they kind of look at each other confused, and then Quicksilver rushes her, and we find that Luminous is pretty fast herself. She, while he's running, she kind of, makes fun of him and kind of talks to him, out of one side of his ear, then appears on the other side, and sort of just like, asks him, makes fun of the name Quicksilver because, obviously she's like much faster than he is for some reason, and, she has white hair, as does he, making the connection that, they're possibly related. Saying, the gray hair, obviously that's where the silver part comes in. But, she's like fun chat and then like punches him while he's about to punch her, and like he just falls into a bunch of like mushroom trees. So Scarlet Witch, she starts to gears up to fight her, and she's like, yield, and she says, no need, I know you're the slow one, but did you not just see what I did to your brother? Now you're attacking me, and Scarlet Witch is like how can you access the chaos magic, and she replies with, I don't just access it, I control it, and she's got like a yellow aura to her, and her skin tone is quite yellow herself. So obviously we see that not only is she faster than Quicksilver, but she has more powerful magic than freaking Scarlet Witch. So we see she's making fun of her as well. She's like, go back to your garbage planet. The truth of what you really are would destroy you, freaking. So Scarlet Witch tries to throw like a little blast at her, and she says, you should visit Earth sometimes. We have child Avengers that could kick your ass, is what she says. But Luminous couples her speed powers with her magic to like slow down the beam and like avert it towards Quicksilver, because he gets back up and starts running, and ends up hitting him and smacking him into Scarlet Witch and knocking her out. So Luminous then, tells the henchmen who have regained consciousness to, take the Hound to the City of Filth, referring to Sabretooth and the refugee camp for the low town people. Then she has a little back and forth with Quicksilver before she kicks him. She says the worst part of facing you old tumors is that I can't even do the merciful thing and kill you two. So High Evolutionary wants to talk to them beforehand. So she puts in a little magic bubble and flies off. Then last panel of second to last panel actually of the book, we see a security guard trying to protect the entrance to Lowtown. Shoots into the bushes, and freaking gets Sabretooth lunges at him and kills him. So the henchman communicates to High Evolutionary that they found the insect nest. Very condescending rhetoric that they're referring to these people with. I think that's a good voice for these villains. But the last little splash here, we see High Evolutionary. He says, "Excellent. Then you know what to do next. My new men. Exterminate the low evolutionary and euthanize his flock of rats." Ew, so, yeah. We see a very, very nice, ominous, thing there. Lord Crocodile there. So, good issue. Unfortunately, no sign of Dr. Voodoo or Captain America, the two black characters in this book on this team, but good, very good. I really enjoy Daniel Acuna's artwork, and we'll definitely be picking this up on the regular here. So thanks you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought of this comic if you read it as well, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.